Lane Campbell is an entrepreneur that came on the Digital Agency Marketing podcast recently. He is one of the most connected people I know, a master networker. And in this video, I want to run through a few of the lessons that he gave on the podcast. He's a multi-entrepreneur, so he started and sold multiple businesses, including an agency. And here are the three things that I learned from the conversation. The first point was the 95-5 formula.
Dealing with B2B, there's basically a 95 and 5 formula that comes into play. It comes down to this. I'm going to use the analogy of a headache. So if I woke up in the morning and I had a headache, I'm probably not going to take any Tylenol or Advil because, it's just a headache, right? I'm going to go about my day. I'm just going to kind of ignore it. That's sort of an analogy that really holds true when you're selling B2B, because 95% of the reason when a company is experiencing a minor problem in their organization, like a regular headache size problem, they're going to base their buying decision on if they trust the solution. Only 5% is on the value proposition. And trust is really hard to build. It takes time. You don't go try a new Advil or try a new Tylenol. The trust is there. You know the brand. You know at least the chemical makeup, right? So you're going to buy, even if you're buying the off-brand, you still know it's Tylenol. You still know it's Advil. It's the same thing. Another analogy, which would be more like a migraine headache. This is when a company has basically stopped being able to function properly, or they have a big problem in some capacity. And it's like a migraine headache, right? If I woke up in the morning with a migraine headache, I have to get back into bed. I have to shut the blinds. I have to turn off the lights. I'm going to change my behavior. If I go Google Yahoo Answers, how do I cure a headache? And it said I could swallow toothpaste. I try it. Why not? And in reality, that's a lot of the time when a company has an opportunity to sell into a company based on value, because it's all about the value. It's 95% value, only 5% trust. So that's why I call it the 95 and 5 formula, because when I'm basically doing outbound selling into companies that are not requesting information from me, most companies position value. And that's, I found, to be one of the worst things you can do. You need to build trust. You need to build a sense of mutuality with your market, and then you can position yourself with value. But they already sort of know, like, and trust you by the time they're buying, unless it's a migraine problem. And when it's a migraine-sized problem, that's when they're coming to you. And those are your inbound sales opportunities. And so that's why inbound, you can pitch value. It does help to back it up with, we have 10,000 customers, or whatever the case may be. But really, they're looking for the solution. So you're pitching your value prop.
Number 2 was how to leverage established trust relationships.
I try to leverage established trust relationships, because one partnership can generate you hundreds or thousands of new customers. Partnerships can take a little bit of time to establish, and there's no real single clear-cut way. You're selling a partner on your business, but in the same amount of time it takes you to sell one partner, you're going to sell one customer, because you're building trust. When you're able to do that, and you're able to leverage a relationship like that, things should change for you very quickly. And I've built most of my businesses, which were mostly service businesses, on partnerships and affiliates and referrals. And when people are out there using different programs to increase their referrals and increase their affiliates, reality is you got to understand your partner's needs. You're not selling them based on their customer at that point. You got to sell them based on what they need. So oftentimes, like, I'll talk to a startup and I'll say, what are the partners, the distributors of what you do actually need more of? And can you just bake it into what you're doing so that they don't have to search elsewhere for it? And then they'll help you distribute your product because you've helped them with their business, right? They'll feel a sense of mutuality with you, like, we're in this together.
And number 3 is you are the last mile.
In the telecom world, we have a term we call the last mile. There's a carrier that owns the last mile of cable that goes to a building. In the service business, you are the last mile. Okay, so if you are actually providing service and you're meeting with customers to put in something, to do something, be their service provider, you are the last mile. And a lot of companies need you for distribution. So never be afraid of pushing back and trying to get what you need out of the relationship. That said, if you have a product and you need to get it out there, you really have to understand your last mile, right? You're not going to get in the door of, say, lawyers unless you find a company that already services lawyers. You're not going to get in the door of providing a service to lobbyists unless you have a company that already provides a product or service to lobbyists, right? So that's your challenge as an entrepreneur. There's no blueprint for doing this right. There's no one size fits all. But look at your market, follow the money backwards. Who are they paying? How much are they paying? What can you do for them? Something stupid and simple.
For the full interview, check out the Digital Agency Marketing Podcast. It'll be linked down in the description. Really good episode with Lane Campbell. If you like this type of video, feel free to like it to encourage this type of content on YouTube. Subscribe for more B2B sales training. And if you need marketing support for your digital agency, check out experiment27.com. Thanks.